Hi guys, welcome to the Thankovsky Network. I'm Roland, and today I wanted to do a little bit different style of a video. It's not going to be about games or anything really. I was looking for something a little bit earlier today, and I found so many things that were different that I could have used for what I was looking for, and we can you know, have other items that'll do the same exact thing, but if we have a favorite, we've got to find that one thing. So I decided I'm gonna make a video that just sort of highlights my favorite things, and that thing that started this whole thing was a bottle opener. And here it is. It's a Coco Joe, just a lava bottle opener. So I was looking for this. I had tons of bottle openers, but I had to find this one. I was starting to panic because I didn't know where it went. I always have it just right here, and then it was just gone. It's back home, but I had to have it. And so now I'm going to share a few other favorite things that I just can't live without, that I have to have, and it has to be that exact thing. So this won't be really covering anything like favorite movies, favorite band, or favorite colors. This is more of the odd things that happen to be my favorite, but it's kind of weird that I have a favorite of that thing. So enjoy. I put these together because I think these in particular are the most peculiar things that we can have as favorites, but I know I'm not alone. I mean, so let me just share it here. Spoon right here. This spoon, it's the exact right size. It's not too big. Any other spoon we have is either too big or too small. This one is perfect, so it's my favorite. I will not eat cereal or anything with a spoon unless I have this one. Chopsticks, okay? These in particular, they're from a restaurant called Sakura. Their chopsticks in particular, even though they're disposable little bamboo chopsticks, they're a lot better than the ones that you get at some other place. And I like how they package them. Everything just feels a lot different with them. And so I thought that was kind of weird that I have a favorite takeout chopstick. To add to that, I cannot eat any Chinese or Japanese cuisine without having chopsticks. If I eat it with a fork, the flavor is completely different. It's just not right. I will not take a shot at home unless I have my Pewter Jagermeister Shotglass. Bam. Right there. It's a elk head. So there you go. So we have 25 coffee mugs in our household, but there's one in particular that I absolutely love and I have to drink from. I feel like if I don't, that the brew is just a lesser brew. But there's a story behind this, and kind of a story behind the place. So here it is. It's a south of the border coffee mug. Now, if you don't know what south of the border is, here in the US we have a highway called Interstate 95. It basically goes up and down the East Coast, and in between North and South Carolina there is this tourist trap that you see signs for. You just have these billboards all along the side of the highway telling you, south of the border this, south of the border that, you've got to stop, it's the best place in the world, meet Pedro, blah blah blah. You get there, it is like the biggest area of just junk. It's such a tourist trap. It's not that in a bad way. It's a good place. Like, you can go there and enjoy yourself, and there's cheap lodging, and it's just really a nice little place to stop off. They spend so much on billboards across the highway to make it seem like it's the best place on earth, and it's not. It's like a little mini Mexico, a couple thousand miles away from the closest US-Mexican border crossing. It's a ridiculous place, but I love their coffee mug, and again, I have to have it anytime I drink coffee. So the south of the border mug is a must-have. If I ever have to do any sort of work on my computer, changing out components or anything that requires a screwdriver, now I have a toolbox back here that has tons of screwdrivers in it. I could use any one of those. This one in particular, I'm very fond of. It's just a very small, very easy to use little screwdriver, and I'll look for it for forever. If I misplace it and I need to work on my computer, I have to have this. I cannot use another screwdriver. I mean, I can, I just won't. Favorite hat. It looks a little ridiculous on me, but it's still my favorite. I love this hat. So I like incense, and I get incense pretty much all the time. I burn them all the time if I'm at home for the day. What I'll burn is the Nag Champa, just regular, really basic sort of Indian incense. There's something in particular that I also like to burn. It's a type of herb, and I burn it, and the smell infuses the place, and it just creates a feeling of happiness. It's not what you think. It's sage. I just sort of burn one side of it. I put it out so it's just, you know, smoking, and I just sort of wave it around and let the smell spread, and it just puts me in a really good mood. So everyone has their favorite pictures, and usually it's something, you know, either a picture that they took or a picture of themselves. If it's a picture that they took, it's like something profound, and it shows, you know, the artistry and their talent and how they can take really good pictures. I'm not a good photographer at all, so my favorite picture isn't that. It is a picture of me, but there's nothing really profound or interesting happening except in my head. It's like my favorite point in time. So here's the picture. This picture is up in terms of like where I live. It's always somewhere on the wall or on my desk. So that's me right there, looking right at the camera. And we're in a place called Shaw's Wharf, which is in Maine, which is my favorite vacation spot ever. This is actually me when I was 15 or 16. This was my last time ever in Maine. That's my girlfriend at the time. Over here, at the very edge, is my cousin, Annie. Annie's friend right there, and my friend, Bobby. We didn't know that Bobby was going to be there. We brought along Jenny and Annie, you know, and Annie's friend. It was a really good vacation. When you meet people that you know that you don't expect to be somewhere, and you're all on vacation at the same time, and you all just start hanging out, it's amazing. There is nothing like that. But as I was saying, before this vacation, I was really extremely depressed. And this day in particular, we had visited Pemaquid Lighthouse, which is it's a lighthouse, but it's a really iconic lighthouse in Maine. It's actually on the Maine Quarter. So if you look at the back of a Maine Quarter, you'll see the Pemaquid Lighthouse. We had visited that. It's one of our favorite places to visit. At that point, when we were there, I was out on the rocks, and I just had a realization. It was just sort of out of nowhere, just like about life, how to look at things. And it really just changed me. And me here, I am so just beyond content with everything around me that, you know, this was the best moment I've ever had in my life. So I guess my mom just snapped it, and, you know, she captured that exact moment, even though we're just in a little cheap restaurant, Shaw's Wharf. As uninteresting as it looks, this was me being perfectly content with everything. Headphones. These you'll see me wearing during live streams and whatnot. These are Sennheiser 280 HDs. I've had these for quite a while. I've used other more expensive headsets. These have such a perfect sound to them. They're great for monitoring, pro audio work or gaming or just anything. If you put a pair of these on your melon and you're listening to whatever it is you're listening to, you're automatically going to like it a whole lot better. Unless it's a low quality, audio file or something, because these will bring out the mistakes or the low qualityness of the audio file. So I'm assuming that Sennheiser in general is really good, but the 280 HDs in particular, my favorite headphones of all time. Someone once walked up to me, complete stranger, and looked right into my face, and he got real close, and he said, "All string cheese is the same." I was like, no, it's not. All string cheese is not created equal. They're totally different things. Case in point, Cheeseheads, best string cheese in the world. If you don't get Cheeseheads, then you suck. Yes, I'm 27 and I still like string cheese. So that same complete stranger saw me like a week later, and he walked right up to me once again, and he was like, did you know that energy drinks are all the same thing? They just have like different brands? And I was like, no, you're wrong again. And I held out this, and I said, Rockstar is the shit. So my favorite energy drink is obviously Rockstar. I don't like Red Bull. I really don't. I don't like any of the amps, any of anything else. Rockstar I love. I like Rockstar so much. I like Rockstar so much that I wear Rockstar on my feet. Bam! Rockstar shoes by Etnies. Oh, I got a few pebbles in there. They're my favorite shoes. Super comfortable. Of course they would be. They're Rockstar shoes. Favorite undergarment or underwear? Yes, I do have a favorite of that, and it's these. These are like boxers, but they're spandex. They're good. They're not so loose that they don't provide support, but they're not so tight that they feel like, you know, you're wearing tighty whities. So I'm holding these out. So you know, put in the comments, what do you think I'm wearing right now? You can't see my bottom half. Am I just, you know, letting it all hang out, or what's going on? Leave a comment. So I'm 27. I'm 27 years old. I'm a 27-year-old male, and I have a favorite stuffed animal. I showed a picture earlier, and this I actually got on that vacation when that picture was taken. So I guess that's part of the reason why I still love it. I had the smaller version. It's made by Thai. It's like a larger version of the Baddie Beanie Baby. It's another one of those things where I always have it in my room wherever I happen to live at the time. So when I was in the army, in my barracks, bam, this was with me. And, you know, people could say whatever the hell they wanted. I always had this. So there you go. I have a favorite stuffed animal. Magic the Gathering. I was a Magic nerd in high school, all throughout high school. All throughout. 9th grade to 12th grade. When I was in 9th grade, I think it was, or 10th, 9th or 10th grade, this thing called Pokemon came out, and it completely shifted the nerd stigma from us. Well, we were still nerds, but to the Pokemon people. So we had the cooler looking cards, and, you know, it looked less childish. But anyways, I have my favorite, nothing against Pokemon people. You guys are fine. I hate how Pokemon things seem to take over meme base and, you know, all that other shit. Every time I see that, I'm like, ugh. But that's just because I've never played it and I'm ignorant, so I don't really know anything about it. But Magic the Gathering, definitely something that I loved. So this is another two-parter. Magic the Gathering, my favorite card game of all time. Any sort of card game, any game that you can think of with cards, Magic is the one that I love. And a close second is a game called Mileborn. It's a French card game where you have a race car and you have to put down different mileage amounts, and you can have road hazards like flat tires, out of gas, car crashes, stuff like that. Anyways, the second part of this, my favorite Magic card ever. This is, can you see that? Squee Goblin Nabob. It's a very, I mean, there's nothing real special about it. It's just a Goblin King. It's a rare card. He's a 1/1. And anytime he's in your graveyard, you can just return him to your hand. And I guess that's the cool thing about him. But for some reason, I just really fell in love with this card. So I've always kept it and made sure I had it. I still have like a couple of Magic decks lying around I haven't played for years, but I still have them. But this is one thing where even if I get rid of those decks, I will always have this card. So Squee. There he is. My favorite magic card. One question I get asked a lot, either on my comments on my SoundClick accounts or just in general when I let people listen to my songs and everything, especially by other musicians who make, you know, similar types of music. They ask me, hey, what do you use? They're always kind of surprised because I tell them that I use a lot of hardware. I use software synths all the time too, but I use a lot of hardware. And I have one synth in particular that I use all the damn time, and it is the smallest little goofy thing, and it's my favorite synth ever. So I'm gonna show it real quick. This is the Microkorg. Now you'd think, you know, my favorite item that I use to make music with would be, you know, the Phantom or the Nordlead or something like that, but no, the Microkorg always takes the cake. And I cannot think of a song that I've made in the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years that I've released, like a complete real song, that hasn't used the Microkorg. It's always in there. It's just a little cool thing, very versatile, and of course the vocoder aspect of it is really cool. So that's my favorite. That's my favorite piece of hardware that I use for all of my music creation stuff. So there you go, Microkorg. My favorite book. It's Myst, like the video game. It's a 3-book series. I think they were thinking about writing another one, but I don't know if it ever happened. And this one in particular is my favorite. It's the first one. It's the Book of Atris. It's a surprisingly good book for its subject matter. I mean, it's based on a video game, and usually those novels are kind of like, you know, take it or leave it. This is a really good book. If you can find it, I'm sure you can get it on Amazon or something. They have actually a Myst reader now where you can have all 3 in one book. If you can find it and you like fantasy reads that are kind of, I don't want to say steampunk, but sort of like a really weird, well, it's fantasy, sort of a weird technological ancient civilization. Get this, please. Read the Myst books and you're just gonna love it. I just wish there were more to read because it's such an interesting and amazing universe. So again, if you like fantasy or you know, a little bit of science fiction, you will enjoy the Myst books. I can guarantee it. So because this is a gaming channel, I figure I should probably do at least one favorite that involves gaming in some sort of way. So I'll finish off with this one, and it's gonna be my favorite Minecraft servers. I love Minecraft. It's actually one of my favorite games. It's my favorite sandbox game, that's for sure. So I have 2 servers that really stand out, that I love to play on all the time. If you're a Minecraft player, you can look for me on these servers. My name is Parlor Tonic. It's Parlor_Tonic. Here's the 2 servers that I love in Minecraft the most. The first one, Team Extreme. I'm a big fan of the way they run things and their donation packages. Team Extreme, I found, has had the fairest packages when it comes to donations. Their donation system works where you can donate for your perks up to $100. Once you make that $100 donation, you get creative mode, and you can pretty much do anything. Even with a $20 donation, you can warp to places. You're able to disguise yourself. You can ignore people and all bunch of stuff. Just a really good server. I like it. I enjoy it. I play on it all the time whenever I have time. But if you're a more mature adult and you don't really want to put up with a bunch of kids, then maybe not so much for you. Now the other server I like for different reasons. It is superearth.net. I found out about this server by watching the Minecraft movie, and at the end credits they have a whole list of all these, well, it's not like a list, it's like a background image that comes up behind the credits that are rolling. And Super Earth was one that I saw that kind of stuck out. This server is great. I mean, it is the least amount of lag I've ever had on any Minecraft server. Also, it was the first MC MMO server that I've ever played on, so that really contributes to how much I like it, because they do it right. all the abilities that you get, included with the MCMMO deal. They do it right, and it really works out. Also, their donation packages, while not as cheap and affordable as Team Extreme, they're still really good. They have a donation class that goes up to, I think, $2,000. So if somebody's like really hardcore about the server and they donate in total, over a span of time or all at once, up to $2,000, then I mean, you can get a lot of good stuff with it. Their community is absolutely outstanding. Very mature people, very helpful people. It's moderated the proper way. It's not moderated by children. It's moderated by real adults who are there. That is their job. That is what they do. They moderate Super Earth, and it's fantastic. It's just a very well-run server. And that's another thing about Super Earth with their donation things, is you can buy donation levels, or if you want to sell donation levels, you can sell donation levels. And when I started doing that on Super Earth, I actually made a post about it on Team Extreme to see if it would be something that could be done, and they eventually approved it. So I started selling donations on Team Extreme too. So if anybody buys donations now on Team Extreme and you come across this video, thank Super Earth for letting me see that it's something that could be done. And then because that made me write that post to ask about it for Team Extreme, and then I ended up selling that Team Extreme donation, and it kind of caught on. So now there's a bunch of people selling donations on Team Extreme, and it's a thing now. Both of those servers extremely good. Once again, Team Extreme, lots of freedom, a whole lot of freedom. Super Earth is a little bit more restrictive. You can gain your freedom as you move along, but when you first get on there, it's going to be really restrictive. It's very survival oriented. Wilderness is very unforgiving. You go anywhere in Wilderness and you are a free target from anybody. You build anything in Wilderness, anybody can take it down. But when it comes to having your own land on any of these servers, they're always really good about griefing, taking care of stuff, rolling things back if you need help. Both servers are great. Both servers have pretty good staff, though. Those are my favorite Minecraft servers. So go play on them and donate, because they're worth keeping up. If there are two servers in the Minecraft universe that are really worth keeping, those are the two. If those two servers ever went away, I wouldn't play Minecraft anymore at all. That's just it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed seeing some of my favorite things. Some things were bizarre, other things were kind of, not too bizarre, just kind of normal. And hopefully it'll, inspire you to make a video response and tell us what your favorite things are. We at the Thankovsky Network would love to know. It doesn't have to be about gaming. Thankovsky Network is not just about gaming. It's about everything. We do it all. So if you have just weird favorite things that you'd love to share with the world, make a video response, post it on your channel, and, just let it out. It's good therapy. We got more videos coming up with the Thankovsky Network. Always be sure to check out Nort's Let's Plays. I'll put a link right in there somewhere. Here on this channel, our next video is going to be out. It's going to be Drunken Let's Play. It's going to be episodes 1 and 2 put together. There was an issue with episode 1, that's why it hasn't been uploaded yet. But that's going to be uploaded with episode 2. Episode 1, it was Back to the Future by Telltale Games. It was awful. I hated it. But anyways, Drunken Let's Play episode 2, I'm going to be doing here shortly. It's going to be Trine 2, another game that I've never played before, and I'm just going to get hammered and try to play it. And it should be an interesting time. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and be sure to head over to thankovsky.net and sign up for a little account over there so you can comment. Check out my music channel, Terran Slate. I'll put a link up for that as well. If it's not on the video, it'll be in the description down below. Be sure to hit that about button, because I've put up things before and people ask me like, what music did you use for this, or what did you do for that? I put as much detail as I can in the about section. So, if you don't have the time to read the about section to find the damn answer, then I don't have the time to reply to you. Just so you know, everything that you want to know, well, pretty much is going to be in the about section. I'll probably even list what my favorite things are in the about section. So if you don't want to watch the video, you can just read the about section. You lazy fuck, watch my video. Alright. Anyways, I'm Roland, signing off for the Thankoski Network. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you didn't, you know, leave a comment. Huh? Do that. Are you writing your comment? Are you complaining right now? I don't see you writing a comment. Well, me wearing during